Hey guys, it's Chloe. So today I'm going to be testing out some new Makeup Revolution products which I'm really excited about. I'm going to be testing the Fast Base Stick Foundation. I've seen a lot of people do videos on this, so I wanted to try it out for myself. Also going to be trying out the Conceal and Define, which I've also seen people just absolutely raving about, so I'm really excited to see if this is as good as everyone makes it out to be. And because Superdrug were doing a 3 for 2 on Makeup Revolution, I also picked up the liquid highlighter in the shade Euphoric Gold, so I thought I'd try this out as well and see how good it is. So obviously my face is bare. I'm going to start out by trying this foundation. It doesn't really have much information on the packaging, so I'm just going to go on the website and have a look what it says. So it says it launched in 18 shades with a range of undertones. Fast-based foundation quickly perfects contours and highlights your complexion. The easy to apply stick formula melts into skin, blending seamlessly to leave a fresh and dewy finish. It's quite nice for me because I do have very dry skin and a lot of my foundations are matte, so it'll be nice to have something with a little bit more of a fresh, dewy finish. This is what the packaging looks like, really nice and bright. It's a beigey colour, and then this part right here is a copper. I love it, I love it. And then it just twists up like this. I really like the packaging. I've never actually tried a stick foundation before, so this is going to be my first time. I got mine in the shade F10. I'm hoping that it'll match my fake tan. We'll see. It might be a bit dark, but everything else looked a little bit too light. On the Superdrug website, it does have a whole list of what the different colours are for. So F10, it says, is for medium skin tones with a golden undertone. I have quite a yellowy undertone, so I'm not sure if I should have gone for F8. That says it's for medium skin tones with a yellow undertone. And then it's got for peach undertones, for beige undertones, neutral undertones, literally everything. It's really great. It seems to have a really great shade range. So yeah, they didn't actually have many of the shades in the Superdrug that I went to, but online they seem to have quite a lot. So how much was this? This was £5, which is really good for a foundation. Right, I think I'm just gonna get started and slap it on. I do have a beauty blender and I also have a blush. I have a brush. So I'm just gonna see what it applies best with, and I guess we'll figure out from there. I do also have a breakout at the moment, which isn't great, but it's kind of good for the video because we'll get to see what sort of coverage this foundation is and if it's going to cover any active breakouts. So let's crack on with it, shall we? It feels really creamy. It applies very easily. It feels really nice so far. I don't really know how much to put on. I think the colour match seems pretty decent to my neck. I don't put fake tan on my face. I think I'm going to try this Iconic London brush first and just see how it goes. It's blending out quite nice. It does feel quite thick, but oh, always a hair on my face every time. Yeah, it does feel quite thick, but I guess that's kind of to be expected of a stick foundation. Like I said, I've never really used one before, so I don't have anything to compare it to. I've always been more of a liquid, a foundation type of gal, but I want to branch out and start trying more. This is actually a perfect match to my neck. Good on you, Chloe. You actually picked the right shade for once. Shock. It says you get 6.2 grams of product, and it's also cruelty-free and vegan, which I did not know. That's a plus. I did not know that. That's amazing. Oh, anyway. Back to blending out. So this is how we're looking so far. I definitely would say it's a medium to full coverage. It's covered up that red spot quite nicely. Obviously you can still see the lump, but foundations cannot cover lumps and bumps no matter how full coverage it is. I feel like so many people see if something's a full coverage and they think it's automatically going to cover all of their texture, and foundations just do not work like that. They are not magic in a bottle. But yeah, it covered that really nicely. It's covered all my uneven skin tone. And I think it looks really nice. It's nice and dewy. Definitely not a matte finish. And it blended out really nice with a brush. Even though it's a lot heavier than a liquid foundation, it actually feels quite lightweight on the skin, which I like. And it was fast as well. You just swipe. So I like that. So next up is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour Concealer. I really like the packaging on this. It's a glass bottle with a rose gold lid and label, and I got mine in the shade C4. On the website it says, let's have a look, it says it's for light skin tones with neutral undertone. I actually had a really hard time trying to pick out my shade in this. They didn't have the shade that I wanted. I think I was going to go for, it was either C5 or C6, I can't exactly remember, but they didn't have it. So this was the closest one I could get. I am a little bit scared that it's going to be either too light or just too neutral. I always tend to go for more yellowy undertone concealers. This also has 18 shades ranging from fair to deep in cool, neutral and warm undertones. Lightweight yet full coverage concealer to cover blemishes, even skin tones. It says it's long wearing, intense pigment, and also can be used for contour and definition. Very nice. Okay, so this was £4, which for a concealer is amazing. I have seen so many videos on this and everyone was comparing it to the Tarte Shape Tape, which I don't have. I've never tried it, unfortunately. I'm going to give this a whirl underneath my eyes and see how it goes. It's got a very large doe foot applicator, which I really like. It is quite light. I'd say it's got more of a pink undertone than a neutral, but I do like to mix concealers anyway, so I just mix it with a more yellowy concealer, and that way I'd kind of get what I want. I'm going to blend that out with my Real Techniques beauty sponge. So far it's blending out really nice. It doesn't feel too cakey, and it's definitely covering my under eye circles. It doesn't actually look too light now that I'm blending it out. I do like quite a bright under eye concealer, so it's not too bad. And like I said, I do tend to mix my concealers anyway, but it blends out into a really nice finish. So this is what it looks like. It has definitely creased, but I have a lot of lines on my under eyes anyway, so every concealer creases on me. I can't get away from that. I'm just going to really lightly set that with my Rimmel Instamatte translucent powder. I barely have any left of this, but I do always set my under eyes, so I am going to go and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and try out the liquid highlighter, and we'll see how the foundation and concealer's looking once I've done the rest of my face. So I'll be back in a little bit. The rest of my makeup is done, and I'm still really loving the way this foundation looks. And the concealer, my skin looks so good right now. My skin looks super natural. It doesn't look like I'm caked in makeup. It just looks like my skin, but a million times better. I am quite surprised because I thought, because it was a stick and because it felt a lot heavier, I thought it would feel heavier on the face. I thought it would settle into my fine lines a lot more, and it just hasn't done any of that. Like, it feels really light. It doesn't look heavy on the skin whatsoever. It hasn't accentuated my pores. It's just really nicely blurred everything out, but at the same time it's made it look like my natural skin, but better, if you know what I mean. As for the concealer, I think it's done a really good job. It's definitely creased just like my other concealers would, but it hasn't creased any more than usual. It's actually creased a little bit less, like I said earlier. So I'm really impressed with that. And again, even though it's full coverage, it still looks really natural. Like, it doesn't feel cakey, it doesn't feel heavy, it hasn't dried my eyes out. It actually feels really hydrating, and it's covered my under eye circles, which is always a plus. Next up, we have the liquid highlighter in the shade Euphoric Gold. It's got the little dropper at the top. They did have a few of the shades of this. I think they had more of a champagne-y colour, they had a more bronzy colour, but I just thought this one would be perfect. It's a nice champagne-y gold. It's not too gold, but it's not too champagne. This one was £6, and it says it's a perfect pale metallic gold shade. Our liquid highlighter drops have a variety of uses. Our concentrated highly pigmented highlighter is a must-have for all lovers of glow. It says it can be used alone as a liquid highlighter. You can apply it to the high points of the face, or you can mix into your favourite foundation for a more dewy and luminous finish, which I can definitely see myself doing. I have got powder on my face, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway, because my Iconic London illuminated drops do blend quite well over powder, so I just thought I'd see if this was any good as well. What I usually tend to do is I'll just put some on the back of my hand, and then I'll dip my beauty blender into it. This is what it looks like on the back of my hand. It doesn't feel too thick. It's definitely a lot thinner than the Iconic London drops. Oh, it definitely goes nicely over powder. It's not separated, I don't think. And it just gives a really nice natural glow. I love this. Yeah, I really like that. It doesn't feel too sticky. It's left a really nice natural glow. You could definitely build it up and build up the intensity, but I do like my glow quite subtle. It doesn't feel sticky or heavy or anything like that. It's really lightweight. It's definitely a little bit more lightweight than the Iconic London Illuminator drops. So I have had the base on for a while now, just while I was finishing off the rest of my makeup, and I went and had a drink and all that jazz, and I'm still absolutely loving it. Like, it just looks so good. It hasn't settled into any of my fine lines yet. It just looks really good. I'm so impressed. I'm definitely going to be picking up more of these, and I really do think it would be good as like a contour stick as well. And again, really impressed with the concealer. It feels nice and lightweight, just like the foundation. It hasn't set into my fine lines too much. And I think the biggest thing is that it doesn't feel dry, because usually concealers make me feel quite dry on the under eyes, and this feels really lightweight and hydrating. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if there are any other brands that you want me to test out. I'm really enjoying doing more of these types of videos recently, as opposed to makeup tutorials. I don't know about any of you, but I'm kind of just finding makeup tutorials a little bit blah right now. I don't know, maybe everything's been done a little bit too much, and that's why. So I'm really liking doing these. You get to test out some new products with me, see what I think, and I just feel like that's a little bit more fun than just your boring old bog standard makeup tutorial. As always, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!